Now you're the most famous economist I know, and I watch all your TV shows where you appear. Like at some point, you appeared almost daily.
Yeah,
different topics.
activities, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell something about yourself?
Yeah, so this is my current job, right? So to help people to understand what's going on in the economy, so that there's a lot to be understood. There's something happening all the time. There are interactions between all these things. One thing happens, and then you think you know the effect, but actually don't know because there's something else that is impacting it at the same time. So
do you have the feeling that now we are in a threshold of a very huge change, which is going to happen rapidly?
I don't know about the upcoming change, but we have been living in a period with a lot of changes. I think that the value changes we have gone through over the last 30-40 years is really tremendous. This is where intergenerational differences grow very fast. Have been growing already very fast. So it's like 50 years ago, people of different generations would understand the world the same way. And these days it's not so anymore. So the world is changing already now very fast. And it looks like it keeps changing. We are in this loop of things getting faster and faster.
Okay. Now I see the biggest change is AI, artificial intelligence. So I suggest let's watch one video.
Where AI is good enough to do a lot of our job. Companies would start replacing workers to cut costs, but those workers are also customers who spend money at businesses. If every company fires a lot of people, eventually hardly anyone is left with enough money to buy anything and keep the economy going. What scared me most, though, wasn't the idea that mass layoffs could happen. It was that even if CEOs see this crisis coming and desperately want to avoid it, they might not be able.
Waiting for the firms to figure it out for themselves, I think, is the worst possible thing we can do. The CEOs are coming out, from these foundational labs, and they're constantly saying AI.
Jobs. So, what do you think of this possibility that AI is so good that there will be so few people needed that nobody will have any jobs and there will be nobody to pay for the services which the companies offer?
This end of job feeling has been around for a long time. Right? This is not an AI specific thing. Okay. The Industrial Revolution was all about jobs are gone when we can't do anything anymore, so that the world changes. I think that there's a lot to be done still. I think most people go home from work thinking that they have not done this, that and something else. The lists are pretty long what they want to do. So it's not that it's end of work, it's really making you faster to do something and then you do more things. So there are some jobs that are now on the table, right? So there's some copywriter jobs, coders in a way are losing.
They're losing very quickly. I looked another interview from Elon Musk just lately, and he told that currently the programmers, the AI is better than 90% of all the professional programmers, and soon it will be better than 99.1%.
Painful.
Yes. He said that there is a program which plays chess. He said it will be the same as the problem with that program. The problem is that it's so good, nobody can beat it. And you can run it on a phone. So Elon Musk even says that it is happening.
Yeah, but then for chess, right? Does this mean that that's the end of chess players in the world? And I don't think so. I think the chess players will continue the same way, even if there's a machine better, right? We're still running 100 meters on a stadium. We know machines are faster.
Yes.
We're still pushing the human limit. We're still trying to compete with each other. And this still works the same way, right? So this, are we going to watch computers playing chess the same way as we watch our national athletes? I'm not sure. I think that the athletes are pretty safe in that they have to go to AI to learn how to train. The AI will tell them if they lift their left foot too high and if the toes are in the right position, but they will run.
Okay.
So there are some jobs that disappear, but then there are some other jobs that show up.
Okay. Which
then-
which we still don't know.
Some we don't know, but some in the service sector we know. We need people to work with people. So put aging society on top. We need many people to help people to get by when they're old, and we don't have enough.
Okay. Yes.
Clearly, we don't have enough. It's a human job. It remains human job for the next 10 years, 20 years for sure. Even if there's a machine that can help, it doesn't mean that the elderly, so those who are now in their 60s, 70s, who are going to be 80s, 90s in 20 years, they really want to have a machine taking up their home. They still want human connection. Coffee serving machines are there, right?
Huh?
Coffee serving machines are there. Do we have cafes where you press a button and you get your coffee? No, we still have humans, right? So even the machines are there. They're faster. Clearly, the machines are faster at making the coffee, right?
Yes.
These vending machines, they're faster, but we're not using them because we still like.
But not yet. But actually, in Bulgaria, you have a vending machine in every corner, and they're very popular. Vending machines you have also in Japan for a lot of things, and maybe they have them because the cost of labor is high, and our cost of labor has been still too low.
No, so is it? So Bulgaria, I would have a hard time thinking about it because it's probably not the high labor cost country.
Yes.
If you say Luxembourg or Switzerland are switching to vending machines, then yes. I mean, shops have automatic cashier machines, right? So this is what we do now ourselves because it's cheaper for the shop.
Yes.
To put stuff on the shelf, we still need people.
Yes.
So I think that the jobs will change.
And how it will change is the Estonian economy, because I have seen at some point a lot of ads came into the real estate listing area for selling industrial equipment and factories for steel, different kinds of mills. So do you think we can compete with China?
No.
So the industry, we just close it here.
In the current form, we can't compete.
Yes.
I mean, China is...
Nobody can compete with China.
No, I think that everybody can compete with China when these are put on equal grounds. This competition is not on equal ground. If the environmental norms differ in China and in Europe, and you have the same product on the shelf, you don't really recognize when it's made in China or Europe. You take the cheaper one. And right away you get the margin and you have a problem. Then China is really subsidizing. It's subsidizing exports.
Because of its aging population? Or?
No, I think it's tremendously wants to grow.
Okay.
China is not really a consumer society. China is a producing society. They create value from producing stuff. Europe, US people, in Europe, in US people want to consume.
Yes.
They don't want to work long hours, but they want to consume. So this is what Western economics is all about. People, utility function is about, you want to consume and you accept work for the income that you generate from it so that you can consume. And then there are some societal issues that if you are unemployed and maybe you're not happy, maybe, doing some work is still good. But it can be voluntary work, right? It doesn't need to be a kind of fixed salary job. It's kind of meaning of life thing. And meaning of life you can get from many places.
Yes.
Once kind of it spreads out and once you have resources. Unemployment is bad when you don't have resources, but when you have the resources, that's what Elon Musk is saying. It's one of the videos you sent, saying the abundance of everything.
Yes.
Like, okay, I can't see it coming because there's a scarcity of resources.
Okay.
We don't even have electricity enough to run all these machines, right? We don't have at the moment enough rare earth minerals, rare earth metals to produce all these things that Elon Musk is dreaming about.
Okay.
So there are
But then
resource
we
constraints.
can so substitute them or something.
No, eventually maybe some we can substitute.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another constraint we have to overcome. And so this is constantly what we are doing. We are eating up the low-hanging fruits, and then we go for more complicated fruits, and then we find a solution for the high-hanging fruits.
Okay. I have another question. So, how do you see like the future of Estonia? Because I see that the politicians are over-promising and under-delivering, and I'm seeing that states keep failing on some of the promises they have given or the services they provide. I'll give you an example. In Estonia, we use voluntary police, voluntary firefighters. Like a lot of things are starting to become voluntary because in some places the government does not provide it. So do you foresee that there is a possibility that when government starts failing, it's not only Estonia, it's other governments too, because that's the thing of the politicians. They promise more than they deliver, so they can be re-elected. This 4-year cycle and these kind of things, that maybe society or people will come together to solve those issues themselves. So there will be a layer of, like, there is a government layer and there is a society layer. Because, for example, if I don't like Estonian taxation or something else, I can move.
Yes.
And everybody else can move. So the governments also compete between themselves. So that at some point maybe we don't need like a government as we know it currently.
So currently these voluntary things, they're still organized by the government. Police, rescue, they are really run by the government actually, so that the government sets up the system, sets up the system, gets the equipment, says when you need to show up.
Okay.
And just the people who are there, they are not paid.
Okay.
They do it voluntarily, and that's the choice between taxing and then asking for voluntary labor.
Okay.
Many of the NGOs, they use government money, and it's in a way efficient way of doing things. Not that everybody is a government employee, but you let them to arrange things, and then sometimes you buy the service. So this kind of voluntary movement, it really comes with fewer working hours, which is possible, which is something we started discussing, but I think it's not end of work, but we might work less hours, a bit less.
Okay.
This is something what we want, usually, except Chinese. They want to work more. But so we get fewer working hours, and then we get extra 3 hours, and then we do the voluntary work.
Okay.
Or we get the second job, or do a Bolt or Volt courier to get extra money, or extra satisfaction, which is the police work, which many people do. I know quite many people who are voluntary police, and I wonder, is that all? That have you done all the other things in your life already? So is the family and job so well covered?
Okay.
But probably there is space for developing it further, but it's their choice to do something different.
Yes,
to
they
give back to the society.
Yes.
So this is like they have achieved something, and then they feel that they want to give something back. And there's a choice if they work more and give money, or they actually work directly for the thing what they think matters. Right? So in a way, it goes nicely.
Okay. Because yes, people have to have also the motivation to work, and so you don't foresee this that there will be people who because not everyone can be like a computer engineer or a programmer. So you don't see that it's possible that some people, they will not be able to do anything, or they are not qualified.
Yeah, so far it looks like the simple jobs they are staying in the simple jobs in a way that it requires to be a human being, a good human being. It doesn't require long years of education.
Yes.
Many of these jobs, helping elderly, it takes a bit of knowledge, right? But it boils down to skills that that everybody can master at the moment.
Because AI is...
Unless you have a really mental problem, but then we should take care of it anyway.
Yes.
And so if there are 2-3% who need help, that's absolutely fine. This is what we are running in the society with anyway. This is the idea of society.
Okay.
Putting together, caring about each other. No, I think that the problematic part why this is becoming now a topic is that many of the office jobs, they are changing very fast and they are disappearing.
Yes.
So this is my job, right? Looking around in numbers and stories people tell, and then digesting it, helping people to understand what is going on. Right? This is something that in a way AI is doing, right?
Yes.
Please go to numbers, check that, go to newspapers and give me an answer.
Yes.
For a bookkeeper, AI can now do a lot of the jobs when it gets the documents and knows the law and a few hints.
Yes.
So if you're a copywriter, again, if you are a car driver, you might be out of work for
soon
extended period of time during the year. Right? I'm still waiting for the car who could run in the Estonian countryside on fresh snow. Everything is white. And then you need to find the road.
Okay. That would be the only driver needed to drive in Estonia in winter.
In Estonia in winter. Okay. Or at least for the cars to run smoothly, you need the stripes on the streets, right?
Yes.
That would help them tremendously. We miss these stripes a lot, I think, in Estonia.
Yes.
So the drivers go around and put the stripes on the roads because this is what is necessary. So there are these jobs that are going to disappear or are going to shrink heavily. And these people, they need to do something else.
Yes. I have one friend who worked for Wise, who also left Wise, and he also told me that they fired from his group only 25 people and substituted with AI. So it is happening as we speak. Okay, I'm really happy that you are positive because from time to time when I have communicated with AI, I feel exhilaration and desperation. In 5 minutes only. But how do you see the future of Estonia? We are aging population. As capitalist economy, it always needs growth. Yes, is it correct?
No, we like growth.
Okay, we
like growth a lot.
So it can function without growth.
It can function without. Are we happy? Not sure. Are you going to leave to another country, like you said, if the government is not providing you? That's possible. But in a way, global life without growth is possible. It doesn't make you that happy, but it's still possible. I mean, many centuries we lived basically with very little growth, and we survived pretty nicely. So in a way, it's not the end of the world at all. There might be an early crisis going through a lower growth regime. But what you're saying now is all the AI is making us so productive. So this is exactly what is counter-working for this productivity.
Yes. Less people and we don't need more people, so everything is fine.
Yeah, so this is how it works, right? We have people who worked out how to go from Tallinn to Tartu really fast.
Yes.
Right? Or Tallinn to Helsinki, by bus or by plane. Really smart people who have worked out these solutions for me to be really efficient so I can teach in Tartu, right?
Yes.
Go in the morning, come back in the evening. I can only do it because people have sorted out the fast transport. Otherwise I'd be really unproductive, right? Going to Tartu 2 days and coming back 2 days. Okay. So this is changing a lot and helping a lot. Then coming back to Estonian future.
Yes.
Low fertility is a big issue.
Okay.
The children that are not born easier, this is a big issue for Estonian society. It messes up up quite many things that we kind of take for granted.
Okay,
So
we need to bring more people in from abroad, or it's not solving this problem?
No, by now we need to bring some people in. I think there is no way without it. Like, no way without it, so that people would vote to stay in Estonia. Let's say. So that so it's like no way. So of course there's a way of shrinking society to live. That's not a problem. But then if we think of our living standard and offer our kids good living standard, then some immigration is probably necessary. I think that the holes are pretty big and these are unavoided. But also we need to work on fertility. So starting for these low fertility at the moment, already now they are closing kindergartens. If fertility comes back, you need to reopen them. Where do you get the qualified teachers? And right away you have an efficiency problem. Because teachers who have been doing something else for 5 to 10 years, when they come back, they're less qualified. And you're running this like through the society or making educational system less efficient.
But this is a problem nobody has solved. This is the hardest problem, fertility problem, because the more societies get wealthier, the fertility rate drops. It's kind of a law.
Yes,
almost like physics.
Yeah, but then they come down from 2.2 to 2.1 to 2 to 1.9, and then in 5 years it dropped to 1.
Yes.
So, and the current fall is nothing to do with people getting wealthier. The current decline in Estonian,
it is because getting a child is expensive. Like before, the child was free labor for you to work in the farm, but now it's added cost for you to educate it and to school, kindergarten, buy things and so on.
Expectations are very high. If you are a parent, everything you need to provide. Yes, that's part of the problem.
Okay,
very high expectations. How you need to be a parent, how good parent you need to be, and if you are not, then you failed miserably.
Yes.
This is part of the thing. Part of the thing is this general feeling that humans are not needed anymore. So why do I want kids to be in the world, right?
That's what my sister is thinking.
Right. Environment is so messed up. We need to reduce the number of people on planet, so I'm not having kids.
Yes. Because I remember when I came to Estonia from Bulgaria in the 99 or something, then I remember what I liked about Estonia was that every day it seemed that things are getting better. Things were not ideal, but I saw the future brighter. That roads are getting repaired, new buildings are built, salaries are rising. But now I come to feel that anxiety, that life is okay, but the future is not, sometimes if you look, it's not bright. War, COVID, all these kind of things kind of stressing me out.
It's not only you. Full society, and then you're tired by the end of the day of being stressed out. But actually, I think that part of the Estonian problem is that we are stressed out. We have been worrying about all these things and working hard, and now we can't do it anymore because we have the feeling that how much can I stand? Now I'm tired.
Yes.
Enough is enough. There needs to be an end to the change that is happening all the time and the uncertainty, so that people take a step back and they breathe a bit. It might be a completely normal thing.
Yes, it is.
So probably it's part of the story. It's not the full story. Why over the last 5 years we have not seen great development. But probably
so
it's part of the story.
It's a cycle.
Hopefully. For that part, I hope it's a cycle. For low fertility, I hope it's a cycle. And we go back for all the wars that we are having, global uncertainties that we are facing, that this is a cycle. But how long is a cycle? That's a painful question.
When the war began, I also asked Ai how long it's gonna last, and one of the answers was 167 years. So I hope it's not so long. Then we were counting only days, the 5th day of the war. Now it's 1,600 something.
No, so this kind of World War III that people are asking, is that the beginning? These conflicts that may arise in the coming months and years. China is getting prepared to have a military conflict. In Africa, there are plenty of hotspots around. There are people who are waiting for the right moment to mess up the world. So it's very likely that something will happen. We don't know what, but something will happen during next year.
Okay.
Next 2 or 3 years. Can we look back at some point and say, oh, that was a crazy decade or crazy 20 years?
Okay.
We say that was the slow World War III or something like that. This is something that might be taking place already, but we say it's not this active war as we saw in the 20th century, but in a different form. And from history we know these wars, the slow-moving wars, they can last for pretty long.
Pretty long, okay.
They can last
People
decades.
will get accustomed, don't worry.
Like 100 years war is something that we all learn in school, right?
Yes.
So and I hope that this is not a 100 year cycle.
Yeah.
Do I see the sign that we are peaking and now it's getting calmer? No. So that's the bad. My optimistic view is that can it get worse? Yes, it can get worse. But eventually we'll figure it out. For Estonia, I'm pretty optimistic because we have good education.
Okay.
People are actually smart. People have good homes, good education at home, the Kinderstube, and then the school system is pretty good up to university. The human capital will work the way through the mess eventually, but it might take time.
Okay, and Estonia has, I think also Estonia has done a good thing about this digital government services and this e-residency. That's it's almost like a book how to make a society fully digital. Because I was thinking that okay, what will happen if Estonia is invaded? Can a fully digital society exist? And maybe it can. I don't know. What do you think?
No, Estonia has been really the blueprint for many countries to get digital services working. I think we have slowed down. This feeling that every day everything is getting better is not that
Gone.
Yeah, maybe not completely gone, but it's slowed down considerably. And in many aspects, other countries are overtaking us, where things move faster. It's that so Estonia never had checkbooks.
Yes,
the American checkbooks.
We skipped them.
We skipped them, and that was
in the Soviet time.
that was good base for adopting a new technology. And the computers came, when internet came, 94. Estonia was ready to take up the new technology because the old one was so crap that you need to learn something. Why don't you learn the best? If you already have something good,
it's difficult to change it.
And then you need to upgrade. Then the learning step is still big, but the benefit might not be so big. Your computer gets too slow, then you change it. Right? So this is...
But by the way, I now see it in business too, that for example, when you set up a new company on a new technology, you have competitor advances compared to the established company with the old technology. And for the established company to change to a new technology is very difficult because you have to change all your processes, all these kind of things, and migrating with all your customer base and this kind of is very difficult. So now is the benefit not of the old company. If you say that okay, I've been working in this area for 20 years, it's not good. Like if you say I just started in this business, it's like okay.
Yes, you asked the question before and didn't answer. You said that in Estonian manufacturing future might not be so bright, and you see companies being sold, manufacturing units being sold. And that reminded me of a story I heard. Metal industry, welding. So this is where you put two metal pieces together with this high temperature, right? The old type of welding company was that men were working there. and half of the time drinking, and half of the time welding. Basically, in Estonia, even we're playing with the words. Very close to each other, basically saying what you are doing actually in that industry, what you need now, what Estonia at the current living standard requires. This is what we expect. If you want to get a child, you want to provide all the good clothes and schools, you need a very high quality welder who has all the certificates and can have a glass of wine on Friday evening, but maybe not even on Saturday, because needs to be completely ready on Monday.
Yes.
And this is a very highly standardized job. You need to be very attentive. It's a more complicated job than mine. I can fix things. Their job is very hard to fix if they do a mistake.
Wrong, yes.
Yeah, if they do it wrong. So another welding job, but moving company from that old to new one is basically impossible.
No, why?
Because if you have these guys who have been working there for 30 years and drinking all the time, you can't say, by the way, from next Monday we have all these standards. Please take this 2 months course, and then we start with our new company.
Okay.
The culture of the company will not stand it. It will break. You can't move these people from. So you can take individually these people and put in a working company, but they say it's impossible to transform such a company. So that's why it's normal that you sell these companies and somebody buys some of the useful equipment, starts a new one from scratch.
Okay.
With the new markets,
because of
new
the
culture, organizational culture. This is the way. So sorry, all the welders that I've heard so far, but this is the stereotype, and this is kind of the cultural change Estonia is still facing.
Yes. Okay. Can we end on something bright? What do you think about real estate prices? Are they going to grow or?
I hope they grow. They grow a bit. This is probably not what people in real estate expect, but I hope that they grow a bit less than wages. So when people speak about residential real estate, residential real estate prices are fairly high, and for Estonian society it would be good to have them somewhat lower. Just for the society to work, to have people coming here, kids getting their flats, people moving between cities from countryside to the cities, having a bit lower real estate prices in major cities, helping maybe the countryside up a bit, is something that would be good for Estonian society. That's what I hope for. And sort of over the last years I've seen a very gradual increase. So it's not that your flat is necessarily worth more. When it was like after the big increase in real estate prices we had in 21, 22.
Now they're falling.
Now they're falling.
Yes. Actually, nobody's telling it, but I see, for example, in a new development, if it was built like up to 3 years ago, you cannot sell the same apartment for the same price as they bought it. I've experienced it several times, and you have hard time selling it for the same price 3 years later.
Yes, you need to invest in the flat in a way that. So what is the
even with this investment?
Even with investment.
Yes.
So
you are losing money.
So what is the problematic part is in current times is that real estate price indexes, they really look at the deals that are made, and there is no quality adjustment.
Yes. It's garbage.
So you see how much an average flat costs that is on the market, that is traded, but you can't say the value of my flat has gone up by the same amount, because the quality of housing is changing as well. It's not the same countryside house we had for 100 years, basically. Very similar technology. We are moving in a technology pretty fast, and preferences are moving pretty fast. So, and the young generation, so flippers are a smaller share than 5 years ago. So they were actually bringing prices down because they brought low price, sold highs. On average, the deals were lower. Right? If you now get home buyers who want ready-made flats, then you only get the high prices, and then it looks like the average price has gone up, but this is not the price that your apartment has gone up really. So this is one thing.
By the way, flippers they exist in the statistics with two numbers, like one they buy cheap and one they sell at the market price.
Yeah.
So and they cannot sell over market price because they usually buy this typical Lasnamäe or Mustamäe apartment. These are which are flipped like a loaf of bread. Everybody knows the price of those apartments.
Yeah. But on average, right, they bring the price is somewhere in the middle, right? And
yes, because it's not a new development which is much more expensive. Yeah.
So all these changes, they have an impact on the price index.
Yes.
And then you go for individual flats. It really depends where it is, how good it is, when it was built, if it turned out to be good or bad, if it's appreciated or not. All these things, they start mattering quite a bit. So the individual variation in real estate prices is much higher than the price index, even if it's done correctly. We don't know where people want to live in 5 years, in 10 years.
No, I can tell you, they want to live in Tallinn. In Estonia, everybody wants to live in Tallinn.
In Tallinn, okay. But then are they in the center? Are they somewhere outside? Are they just outside of Tallinn border? Do they want a house or an apartment?
Preferences change constantly. For example, I discovered lately with one apartment that the rental prices in the city center have fallen because people want to live in newer buildings a little bit further from the center. But they want A energy class and parking in the house and charger for your electric car and fresh air, these kind of things. So the prices are more expensive not in the city center but outside, and those preferences change quicker than I've ever imagined.
Yeah, they change. And then the city planning also plays a role where the houses are built, in which quality, and in Tallinn, outside of Tallinn.
Yes,
the
infrastructure if they get a permission to build.
Exactly. So these things have a tremendous effect. So preferences change, and we don't know actually in 10 years where people want to live.
Yes.
These are we see tendencies, but
we cannot predict.
But they change. There are abrupt changes. In principle, when you think of Tallinn, then the center is one, but outside you can build quite a bit.
Yes, land is cheap. We have land.
Land is cheap, and when you add transport, it can be fairly easily accessible.
Yes.
From pretty far away with our standards at the moment. So the supply of housing outside can be limitless with the population.
That's true.
So I see a hard time seeing large price increases in housing, but because of that, because the supply can be limitless. Then on the construction side, can the price go up? Can it go up? Yes. When we start rebuilding Ukraine, when Sweden and Finland starts constructing again, we run out of materials, we run out of people who can construct, and the prices can go up by 20%. It might still be cheap when we look it from 28 back and say, oh, that was actually a pretty good year to build. So these things, they can change.
I disagree, because the materials, I think they are gonna drop, the price of materials, because Chinese have built 60 million houses which are empty, so they've built more than they need, and they don't use that much metal and concrete, so the demand from there has dropped. But, okay, what would you suggest to expat, most likely who will be seeing this video? Is it worth buying or renting in Tallinn?
That's a complicated question.
Today.
Yeah, no, I think this it's really a matter of personal preferences and possibilities. So Tallinn, alright, so that buying or renting depends what you want. If you want a really liquid apartment, it's much easier to buy one and sell it. If you want something which is illiquid and you want to leave, you might be stuck with it for some time, right? So that the choice between buying and renting is really a matter of different questions than is the price going up or not.
Yes.
I don't see large increases in prices showing up in coming years. So when you try to speculate and hope that flat prices go up, be aware of risks. Can the prices drop? Yes, they can drop. Even in Tallinn, they can drop. So be ready for that as well if you're planning. But then Estonia is a really good country to buy and sell real estate. The transaction costs are fairly low. So state taxes almost don't exist. These duties are tiny. So in that respect, it's a good place to buy and sell. And it's not a long-term commitment, really, in that respect.
Okay, Lenno, thank you a lot for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
Thanks for inviting. It was a pleasure.
And I was happy to see you. Last time we saw a few years ago.
Probably. It's been a while.
Time flies.
Yeah, really changed. Well, good to see you.